Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Maybom Perspective. We are so glad to be joined today by Janet Waters, our principal instructor at the Maybom Institute. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I think we'll be doing these often together. If you guys know Janet and I at all, you will know that we have no problem talking.
Oh.
With or without a microphone.
With or without
we
a
can
microphone.
talk to
Absolutely.
anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Yes.
So our goal today is to keep this efficiently short, because we could drone on probably for hours, but we've got some really exciting information. And Janet is here to talk to us specifically about Maybom Institute today. Somehow we're already in November. I don't know how that has started. I feel like we just were in the summer, and now we're almost halfway through November. Thanksgiving's around the corner. And we've had such a successful year. You know, our listeners have heard lots of market information, lots of updates. Mortgage rates are down, housing prices are up. Everybody feels like it's, you know, a good mixed market for buyers and sellers. So a lot of people are interested in real estate, you know, and sometimes this type of market lends itself to, you know, I've always considered that as a career. Maybe I should consider that. There's a lot of burnout with professions sometimes, and really figuring out at this time of year, what does 2026 look like for you? You make vision boards, you know, you project out into reality what you want to happen. And for a lot of people, real estate might be on their mind. So we decided we needed to get in front of those people now. We've got Career Night coming up on December 15th, and our first class is on January 8th for 2026.
That's right.
So that's going to be here before we know it. So now is the right time to listen to this podcast, get some information, contact us if you've got questions, and then really decide if you're ready to lean into this career, which it is a career. It's not a job.
Absolutely.
It is a career. So we're going to bring you all the information, and I'll say it again at the end, but at the end of this podcast, in the first comments, we will make sure to link all of the information. We will link the contact form, anything that you need to know as far as the dates and times, what you have to have prepared. So don't hesitate. Don't take lots of notes. You can find that in the caption. So to get started, Janet, tell us a little bit about Career Night coming up on December 15th. What can people expect?
Career Night is one of my very favorite events, because it is for people who are ambitious, they're curious, and they're excited about thinking about how they might build this new life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's who comes to Career Night. I get calls and emails every week from people who are curious about a career in real estate.
Yeah.
So Career Night's a great way to answer some of those questions.
It's a little sampler. It's like a Costco sample aisle, right?
Yes.
You walk up, and before you want to try, you know, the 90 pack of fruit snacks, right? You got to try the fruit snack to make sure you want them. So Career Night is kind of that sampler at Costco, for a lack of better analogies. And it allows you the opportunity to ask questions in person. So you will be there, maybe some other instructors.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So one thing I want everyone to know is this is not a sales pitch.
Right.
This is more like a conversation where you'll get to meet the instructors, you'll get to meet real agents, people who are actually doing the business, who have built a career here.
Yeah.
And they can answer those specific questions that you may have. They're going to tell you what it means to have a career that is flexible, and yet challenging.
Right.
Is exciting, but a career.
Yeah.
You know, and they will give you the ins and outs.
Right.
And we'll be able to answer those questions.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
You have to hear all sides. No grass is ever greenest. You know, you have to water it, and you have to put the work in. And I think that is always such a key for you guys with Career Night, is to have those true testimonials, both from the agents, from the instructors that have been doing this a long time, from someone like you who has been in real estate for, you know, a decade. It is important for you to be able to hear from true people, not just what you Google and not just what you see on social media.
Exactly.
Everybody can do it.
Exactly.
It's not that everybody can't do it, but everybody won't do it if you don't do it the right way. So we're here to help you, guide you down that path. So if I've decided the Career Night was awesome, I love it, what are my next steps after that?
Okay, so if you come to Career Night and you say, I think this might be for me, we are going to help you, tell you how to get registered.
Got it.
On January 8th, you're going to start your classes, and we are going to be there for you. Okay, I feel like I'm stumbling right now.
You're fine.
Because
so they get registered, and then what happens from there? Yeah.
Okay, so they get registered.
Online. We have that link. Yeah.
Online at maybominstitute.com.
Right.
You'll tell them more about that.
Yeah.
But then you're going to attend the class.
Okay.
And so this is important that it be something you really want to do.
Yeah.
That you've taken some time to
Commitment.
think through,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how you're going to manage life work balance and so
Right,
forth to be in the
right.
class. But you're going to come to classes Monday evenings, Thursday evenings,
Okay.
and some
Okay.
Saturdays. It's
The time frame is
yeah, through
typically
March. It's 8 weeks.
okay, 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Got it. Okay.
So it seems like a long time, but actually, if you plan that,
Yeah.
before spring break,
Right.
you could
You can
have
be
your real estate
licensed.
license.
Well, and I got licensed in January, so I
Mhm.
am partial to that class time frame.
Mhm.
There is no right time to do something like this.
No,
And
there's
we
not.
talked about that before we got started. Whether you are single or whether you have children or whether you have grown children and you have grandchildren or whether you are in the middle of a career that you work from home or whether you are a teacher and you're ready to leave, whatever the case may be, everybody has life.
That's right.
Everybody has life,
That's right.
but it's committing to yourself.
Mhm.
We commit to you, you
Mhm.
commit to yourself,
Mhm.
and we bring you the tools so that you can succeed within this class.
Absolutely. What I love about what we have planned starting
Mhm.
in January is we're going to have the solid curriculum that's
Okay.
required,
Yeah.
by the state of Georgia. But we have solid instructors.
Yeah.
They're going to be, we know that everyone learns a little differently.
Right.
So there's
Right.
something for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone will be able to get what they need out of this class.
Agree.
And you're going to have a ton of support.
Yeah.
We're going to help you. Our job is if we will help you as much as you help
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our job is to be here for you, to
Mhm.
make sure you understand and to get you through that exam.
That's right.
And
That's right.
that's what we're committed to.
Well, and accountable.
And
We're accountable
accountable.
to you. You're accountable back to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that word for this career in general.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in the beginning, you're accountable to instructors in
Yeah.
the class. And once you become a licensed agent, you're
That's right.
accountable to your clients.
That's right.
So it's a great way to start out.
100%. And I think, again, I want to make sure everybody understands life does happen. We are here to work with you. If it is a Thursday morning and you wake up and you have a fever, we do
Right.
not want you to come to class. We
That's
do not all want to
right.
get infected.
That's right.
We will work with you. If a major life event happens and you need to pause and come back to us the next class series, let us work with you. Don't panic in that moment. Let
Mhm.
talk to us. Let us help you. But we do need that commitment. If it is just 28 degrees outside
Mhm.
and it's dark and you
Mhm.
don't want to get in your car and drive to class,
That's not a good reason.
that's not
not a
being
good reason.
committed.
That's
That's
right.
right. That's right. But again, there are things that happen, and I think the class schedule is such that I felt like the January class. I was like, well, there's not a lot of sunlight out at night.
That's right.
It's going to be dark. I'm
That's
not going to be
right.
able to do anything at night, anyways. So it was a good time for me to feel that commitment before busy season of spring and summer. And then, like you said, got licensed before spring break. Felt like that was done. And again, if I was going into a full career, what a great time to get into the real estate market,
Perfect.
right?
When it's busy, when it ramps up.
Absolutely.
January is such an exciting class because just, everyone thinks about, okay, it's a new year, new me, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times we dream, we talk, we do a
Right.
little Google search,
Yeah.
but we don't do anything. This could be your opportunity.
That's right.
The time to do it.
That's right.
To step out
Right.
and give it a try. We would love for you to do that.
Well, and once you've committed cost wise, registration wise, you've got the book, you've come to career night, you've gone to
Mhm.
the first class,
Mhm.
you're going to be all in. It is an
Mhm.
exciting thing. And as adults, for some of us, it's been a few years since we've had to study,
Right.
or we've had to, go
Yes.
to any type of educational piece. So it is a learning curve. It is a hard thing sometimes to get back into the swing, and that's why I feel like in-person class is so great for real estate licensees.
Absolutely.
Because it is a group atmosphere. You make friends with people in your classes. I still see people. I love seeing our agents out and about in the offices, and they'll have been in classes together. That's always such a great thing to see, that camaraderie. They do little study groups, in between
Mhm.
classes. They'll meet at Chili's or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
And then after they get licensed, whether they're all at the same brokerage or not, they tend to still lean on each other.
Absolutely.
So
And
I
you know
love
what,
that.
Megan? One of the things we've discovered through the training that we've been doing here
Yeah.
through Maybom these last 8 years is peer group learning
Sure.
is amazing.
Invaluable. Yeah.
It's invaluable.
For sure.
The success rate is exponentially better
Yeah.
when you have a peer group.
Well, you don't feel so you're an independent contractor maybe, but you're not so lonely island, and it is a
Exactly.
competitive industry. Hear me when I say that. I won't say dog eat dog because that makes it a little
is
scary.
not.
but it is a competitive industry,
Sure.
and we want you to be successful. But
we can teach you how to be friendly competitors,
But sure,
professional
sure,
competitors.
and there's a lot that you can ping off of each
That's
other
right.
without losing a listing to somebody.
Exactly.
You know, so there's a lot of that within
You make
this
me
class.
think of something else.
Yeah.
So we've talked largely right now about people who are thinking about a new career
Mhm.
or a fresh start in life or whatever, and this is a wonderful career for that.
Sure,
But I'll tell you, it has also become a great first career
right?
for young people.
Sure,
And so don't disqualify yourself
Right.
because you're young and,
Right.
and you haven't yet established a career.
yeah,
This could be the place for you.
yeah,
And we are very open to that,
Sure.
and we're equipped for that.
sure.
So,
And I don't feel like we sugarcoated. I think at Career Night, I think class one, you know, you guys talk to the students about financially how to prepare.
right.
Because, and I hate to spoiler alert everybody, but you're not going to have a real estate sale probably in your first couple of weeks.
That's right.
So you're not going to necessarily have that first commission check. When you have that first commission check, it's going to feel good.
Yes.
Doesn't matter when it is.
That's right.
But it might not be in those first couple of weeks. You
Right.
know, that'd be very hard to do. However, you know, we try to help you financially get mentally ready for what that looks like. And are here to support you in that way. Whereas, you know, sometimes if you do the Google quick way, no one's got your back. And I do feel like
Mhm.
through Maybaum Institute, you know, we
Mhm.
continue to support you with this course period of 8 weeks to make sure that you are ready. You're prepared, you're licensed, you're trained the right way to learn and succeed within the real estate industry.
Mhm.
But then you're also practical. I feel like you guys, I guess that's a great word, is you're practically teaching
Right.
them,
We
you know,
are.
not only are you gonna have this license, but here's kind of what you need to expect
Yes.
as well in the real
Yes.
world, if you will. I want to make sure that everybody can hear you. Just make sure you're talking straight
Okay.
into that mic for me. Yeah.
Is this better? Okay.
I guess. I'm no pro here, but
I'm
I
getting
know.
a little too relaxed.
There you go. I
Away from
know.
that.
Just bring it back. James says not to touch it, but I want to make sure that everything you're saying is being heard. So I
Okay.
had to make sure. Janet and I use our arms and our hands when we talk,
Yep,
so it gets
definitely.
difficult. Okay, let's get back to, you know, again, worried about someone comes to Career Night and they say, Janet, I'm a little concerned. I've got 2 small children. You know, I do work full time.
Sure.
And, you know, what does that look like? What is the best way for me to get ready for class? How can I prepare? Haven't been in school, you know, in 10 years. What's the best way kind of for me to look to prepping? You know, is it a school supply list? Is it, you know, knowing how much
Sure.
am I going to be studying? How much, you know, what does that workload
Sure.
look like?
Well, I like to think of it this way. In fact, I wrote a couple of notes about this to remind myself. You know, treat this like your first professional investment.
Okay.
It's an 8-week season of focus,
Mm-hmm.
right? Plan your schedule. Talk with your family.
Yeah.
Get the backup you need for the kids or the chores or the
That's right.
whatever. And then commit this small chunk of, this chunk of time.
Yeah.
But commit a small chunk of time for studying
Right.
and reading.
Right.
You're not going to do well if you don't have that extra time outside of class.
Yes.
So plan it. And it's going to require study. It's going to be intense, but it's a relatively short period of time.
Right.
And what you gain is a structure and discipline that will
Mhm.
serve you well in this new career.
Yeah.
So
It's setting you up for what you can expect. Because
it is
again,
setting you up.
you can't just come to class Monday and Thursday
No,
and expect to just and just listen and expect to just whiz right through.
no.
You
It's
need
not
to
easy. If
you
it was
need to-
easy, everybody
everybody
be
would
doing
do it. You need
and
to
we
be
would
a
be
constant
like-
learner.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
But it also is the same thing I would assume for real estate professionals, and you're a realtor as well. And you know, before you began this side of the career, you know, you remember moving from buyer to buyer, seller to seller. You don't just stop working in between
Absolutely
because
not.
that pipeline's going to dry up.
That's right.
That money's going to dry up. You have to constantly be working, and just like you said, it sets them up. You work on it every day, little
Right.
bit every day, bite-sized
Right.
chunks.
Mhm.
Gets you ready for the next class, gets you ready for the next quiz, gets you ready
Mhm.
for the next test.
Mhm.
You guys do a midterm, right?
Right. We do a midterm so
Okay.
you can kind of get a feel
Halfway
for
check
how
in.
you're doing, a halfway check
Okay.
in. We have a cram course
Okay.
right
that.
before the final exam.
Okay.
And you're going to have, a textbook, and you're going to have handouts
Sure.
of various things, activities. There's even some. We do like a Google Classroom
Okay.
with certain like tools,
Materials,
If you
yeah.
if you like extra materials to help
Mhm.
you with flashcards,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
We've set all of that up.
Yeah.
And so, we're going to to provide what you need to learn.
Okay.
You need to come with your time, your attention. You need a smartphone. Before you go into this career, you need a laptop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have the laptop during the pre-license
Mhm.
classes.
Okay.
But those are the tools of the trade
Yeah.
once you become licensed.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to mention too
Mhm.
is that, of course, I love Maybom. You know, Maybom
Sure,
is my
sure.
home. And of course, I want all of these fabulous new agents to
Right.
want to be at Maybom.
Right.
But, you know, our institute is not just for pre-license for just Maybom future agents. It's for, even if you plan to go to a different brokerage, or, you know, you think a different brokerage might be a better fit for you,
Mhm.
Maybom Institute educates and does pre-license for anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you plan to do next with your license. We've occasionally had people come who only plan to be investors
Yeah.
and they're not going to be an actual selling agent.
Yeah.
This is still a good class for them.
Right. Right.
And in fact, a lot of our friends and fellow brokerages
Yeah.
send their people
Sure.
to us.
Sure.
Okay. And so it is not a Maybom exclusive pre-license.
Right.
It is open for everybody.
Okay. That's a good point. And I do think, you know, kind of wrapping all this into a pretty package with a bow, we are here as an institute specifically to train, educate, and help you get licensed. We want you to be prepared if this is a first career, like you said, right out of high school, college, and you know, maybe you have been trying to debate where you are heading and you've always wanted to get into real estate sales. Or if you have done a career or partial career and you are ready for that next move. But to your point, there's a lot of folks that want to do this for investment purposes. They want to do it. We have commercial folks that want to get into commercial. We have folks that want to do property management. So there are a lot of different facets. And I do think one thing that I love about Maybom, because we have this institute, we just have this wealth of knowledge, right?
Right.
So our instructors are so great at what you guys do every day, but we've got this wealth of knowledge of all the different things you can do with your real estate license. So if you come to career night and you say, I only want to be an investor, you know, again, we are here to help you down that path, no matter if it's here or not. But we do have, I like to feel like the largest depth, so to speak, on our bench of opportunities for information. And we're happy to share that. We don't gatekeep it. We
That's
want
right.
everyone to be successful, right? There is plenty of business for everybody. So I think that was a great point to make. And I do think, you know, as we look to this next year, we've got some exciting changes happening within the institute. We've got some brand new instructors that are rip roaring ready to go. You guys are organized. Everything is very detailed. There are a lot of, like you said, materials, opportunities. I'm a flashcard person. I probably made 90,000 flashcards during my licensing. Everybody learns differently. And I think you guys as an instructor group can meet everybody in different places. So I think there's a lot of interesting things that probably get brought up at career night. A lot of good questions.
Yes.
I will say we're going to link everything in the first comment section and in the caption. But if they have questions, they can comment on this post as well and leave those for you. Do you have anything else just as a wrap up that you want to remind people or tell people about when considering if they should come to this or not?
Sure. So I hope if you've been curious, come.
Yeah.
Come to career night.
Right.
If you've been curious, if you've always wanted to do this, but you're not sure if now's the time or if it's for you,
Yeah.
come to career night. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is if you decide this is for you and you come through our pre-license program, no matter what you do next, you're going to leave us confident and capable and connected to a network of professional people
Yeah.
who can help you get your career started.
Right.
So I hope you'll come to
Right.
career night.
I love it. Okay,
Yeah.
Janet. Well, thank you so much. And we'll be back. We'll do more of these and give people more tips and tricks on making this a career, not just a job. We want this to be something that you're passionate about. We're passionate about it. And we are here to help you down that path. So without further ado, thank you so much again. And we'll see you next time on the Maybom Perspective.